Hey guys, Willie here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're reviewing the all-new 2025 BMW X3 M50i.
And a big thanks to Aramis and the rest of the management and staff here at BMW of Tampa for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to their inventory below, and if you're looking for a new premium or performance car or SUV in the Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out. And as for Aramis.
And for those of you guys who don't know, the X3 has been BMW's compact SUV since 2003. The fourth generation X3 that you see here is all new this year for 2025, sitting on the new G45 platform, which is an inch lower than the third generation X3, measuring 1.3 inches longer and 1.1 inches wider, with an additional 11 horsepower and 59 pound-feet of torque for the upgraded, more powerful B58 model, which now sports the M50 nameplate versus the previous M40i. The 2025 X3 so far up until the M is available either as a 30i or an M50 that you see here. The 30i featuring BMW's peppy but unchanged 2-liter turbo, which cranks out 255 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque, getting that thing to 60 in around 6 seconds. It starts a tick under 50,000 bucks, but you can also upgrade to the more powerful M50i that you see here, which starts a tick under 65,000 with a $64,100 base price. What else do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So of course, ground up redesign, the front end styling's completely changed. Everything's completely changed with this all new fourth generation X3 outside of the entry level power plant. But we don't have the entry level power plant here. We have the M50i, so completely unchanged vehicle for this model year. Full LED headlamps, LED daytime running lights, and a projector for the high and low beam. Pretty flat grille area, reminds me a little bit of the new 5 Series. We get active shutters up top and below for the radiator and intercooler for this twin scroll turbo 6-cylinder. The hood, not a lot of notches in it, kind of looks a little bit basic in my opinion, but the front does have that signature BMW slot with some aluminum accents outside of the grille. M signifying that this is an M50i. We get full front parking sensing and a forward-facing camera helping us out with the 360. The wheel and tire setup is also all new this year for 2025. We get these black and silver contrasted 20-inch rims wrapped in 255/45 R20 Pirelli P0 all-season tires up front. I really like the design, the Y spoke with the jaggedy silver edges, 5-lug pattern, and a pretty large 4-piston M Brembo style brake caliper. We get a side sensor helping us out with a 360, all body color trim for the wheel well area, body color rocker panel side skirt area. I'll take a step back, hopefully you can pick up the side profile. It definitely keeps the X3 side profile look, but I definitely also see some resemblance to the XM model BMW, which is the top of the line SUV, which is a good SUV to model your almost entry-level SUV off of. The door handles are completely changed, remind me a lot of the new 7 and 5 Series. They have smart access, as you guys just saw. We get an additional camera on the mirror to help us out with the 360, LED turn signal on the glass, blind spot monitoring also on the glass. We get black roof rails, massive glass roof. It doesn't open, unfortunately. We'll check that out when we take a step inside. We get a shark fin style antenna as well. You guys can check out the window sticker. We also have one inside. It'll be a lot easier to pick up, so I'm not going to show you guys that window sticker in too much detail. The rear wheel and tire setup is offset from the front. The previous generation had 245s up front and 275s out rear. This new generation has 255s up front and 285s out rear. Not the biggest difference, but it is a difference nevertheless. Still the Pirelli P0 all-season tires. It's nice that you can get the 20-inch rims for this generation also with the all-season tires for the previous generation. The only model with the all-season tires was the model with the 19-inch rims, but not the case here for 2025. Wrapped in 285 40 R20 Pirelli P0 all-season tires with a single piston blue M brake caliper. Additional side sensor for the 360, BMW LED taillights, turn signals and reverse light, aluminum X3 badge in the left corner, M50 on the right. Shout out BMW of Tampa for helping make this review possible. We have the reverse light in the center, aggressive diffuser, and for 2025 also new are these quad exhaust tips, previously only available for the X3M, now available for the M50. But speaking of the quad exhaust tips, let's fire up this 3-liter straight 6 twin scroll turbo, and here how she sounds for 2025. Alright guys, that was the sound of the upgraded B58 twin-scroll turbo inline 6-cylinder sold by BMW for the 2025 X3 M50i. And it sounds good. I think it sounds better than the previous generation M40i, cranking out now 393 horsepower, 428 pound-feet of torque, 11 more horsepower and 59 more pound-feet. I definitely also hear more crackles and pops with these quad tips. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Not that the previous generation sounded bad, but I do think that this generation sounds a little bit better. With the extra power, you can expect 0 to 60 still around 4 seconds. It does weigh in over 4,500 pounds now. Still standard all-wheel drive, made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission. You see the you see the strut tower braces, hydraulic struts too, and we get extra supports in front of the radiator and intercooler. With the active shutters, not going to be possible to see it. Anyway, we can shut this hood right down, take a step back, walk around this all new redesigned 2025 BMW X3 M50i. And let's take a step inside, because not only is the exterior completely redesigned, the interior is all new this year as well. Up top, we get soft touch materials, leather armrests. It's not as soft as the previous generation, and we don't get an aluminum door handle. It kind of looks like plastic. I know it's magnesium or some type of more premium material than plastic, but it still looks like a plastic material nevertheless. I do prefer the way that the layout looked for the previous generation. We'll turn this audio down so I don't get hit with copyright. The sound is off earlier, not quite sure why it turned back on. Anyway, we get 4-window auto on touch, power folding mirrors, 4-way adjustable trunk release. Not sure if you can pick up the interior illumination. We get touch sensitive memory seats, lock and unlock, and our fan controls for the door panel, because we have additional fans blowing right in our face from the side. We also get the upgraded Harman Kardon audio system. It sounds really good here. We'll check out all the features on that window sticker. The seats are Veganasa, not genuine leather, but you could have fooled me. Still feels, smells just like the real thing. And for 500 bucks, we get the ventilated seats here. In my opinion, that's a must-have feature, especially living in Florida. Fully adjustable seats, you can recline, drop, lift, and slide. Adjustable bolsters with 4-way lumbar control. Taking a step inside, we can really check it out. So foot on the brake, engine start, stop, and everything fires right to life. So of course, as you mentioned, it's a completely redesigned interior. The only carryover that I am seeing is the rear view mirror. Really not a big deal. The steering wheel is thick, just as thick as the previous generation, but now it's a flat bottom, aluminum frame, rubberized horn area. The horn, loud and aggressive. People should be definitely getting out of your way. We'll do a window check, see if we get dual pane windows. We do not. The previous generation also didn't get dual pane windows. On the left side of the steering wheel, we have our radar cruise control adjustments. On the right side, volume and skip with our settings, music, voice commands, and you can hang up and answer your phone calls. The paddle shifters are way larger than the previous generation, but they're not aluminum contrasted. Just a large plastic with the boost paddle on the left. Auto headlamps, auto high beams, and auto rain sensing wipers, all appreciated features. We don't get a power tilt and telescoping steering column. You get your vent adjustments to the left side. Hopefully you get a good look at your pedals. All soft touch and stitched material for the dashboard. We get the large BMW heads up display as well. We can adjust this digital gauge display. Right now we're looking at reduced view, see your trip computer, assisted view, route preview, map, G-meter, and our media radio. The layouts are adjusted with 3 different screens. This is our first screen, second screen, and our third. My personal favorite are the first 2. We'll leave it in the first. You can adjust the heads up display as well. Hopefully you pick it up on camera. Right now we're looking at directional view, assisted view, sport view, curve ahead view, that's pretty cool, and reduced view. I'll try out curve ahead view for the purpose of this review. You can zoom back out. And that's about it for the adjustments for this digital gauge display. The infotainment screen, 14.9 inches. The previous generation was 12.3. So it is an upgrade. Not only is it an upgrade in terms of size, it's definitely an upgrade in terms of response. The resolution is also incredible. Just like an iPhone, huge thumbs up for the intuitiveness of this infotainment screen. My only thumbs down is that the climate is only adjusted through the infotainment screen. The previous generation had hard buttons. Now, we don't even have hard buttons for the defroster. It's just touch-sensitive buttons underneath with touch-sensitive buttons for the climate control. Here we can adjust our heated and ventilated seats. The ventilated seats are a big thumbs up in my opinion. For 500 bucks, I think they're a must-have. Heated steering wheel. It's just everything is connected through the touchscreen. We can center the vehicle, check out the home screen. This is the home screen. We check out all of our apps, see everything that is available. So it's loaded, but my personal favorite screen would be this home screen. Backup camera, throw it into reverse, super high resolution, guidance lines and trajectory with an over-the-top 360-degree view. We check out our assistance view, which uses sensors instead of 360. Panorama view is just a wide screen for the backup. We get 3D view. You can move around your 2025 X3 M50i in a circular manner. Cool. And you can see also car wash view, which gives you guidance lines and the trajectory for the front wheels if you're going through a car wash. And that's about it. Settings and camera cleaning with a click of a button. Throwing it back into park, we stay in our backup camera mode, or backup camera screen. You got to actually return back to the home screen, just like Audi. I'm not sure why exactly they do it. I think it's so when you're in your 360-degree view and you put it back into park, it shows you where your doors will open up if there is cross traffic. Hopefully you can pick that up on camera, but I would still prefer when you throw it into park for it to immediately go back to the home screen. Really not a big deal though. Ton of storage, 2 USB-C ports, no wireless phone charging pad standard, 2 cup holders, you'll fit 24-ounce bottles, no cover here, but also not a big deal. Some interior illumination, hard plastic for where your knee will often hit. The gear selector for the 8-speed automatic transmission, electronic parking brake with auto hold, and the electronic parking brake is the only way to go into park in this SUV. Shortcuts if you don't want to go through the touchscreen, crystal dial, volume and skip controls. You can check out your cameras with a click of a button. The button behind it controls your driving settings. We have driver assistance, drivetrain and chassis, and our displays. The drivetrain and chassis has iconic sounds, deactivate auto start stop once, and it automatically turns the engine off and on when stopped. Function will be reactivated the next time this vehicle is started. Unfortunately, you can only turn it off once, so every time you turn the vehicle back on, you're gonna have to turn it off again. But in the previous generation X3 M40i, I don't even believe you had the drivetrain and chassis adjustability, so the only way to turn off the start stop is by putting the car into sport. And not everybody wants to be in sport with the adaptive suspension because it does harshen up the ride a little bit. But now you can turn off the auto engine start stop while keeping the vehicle in comfort mode. Big thumbs up to BMW. That was probably the only complaint that my family had with their M40i's, but they still bought 2 of them. My grandfather bought one and my parents also bought one, so it's still an unbelievable car. Behind it, we have a pretty soft armrest. We have some aluminum, looks like aircraft aluminum surrounding the center cluster. White contrast stitching, decent storage. You'll fit 6 to 7, maybe 8 12-ounce cans and an additional 12-volt in there. The glove box, push this button, it is damped, lined and felt, and decently large. I'd expect you to fit 20 license plates. I don't think it's wide enough for 2 pairs of shoes, but you'll easily be able to fit 1 pair. Frameless, auto-dimming rear view mirror. It's not a digital rear view mirror. We don't get the suede Alcantara headliner either. The interior lights are LED, cool, but everything's touch sensors. We have a very large glass roof, but unfortunately it doesn't open, and it takes a long time for the shade to open, so I'll catch right back with you. So a massive glass roof. It's creaseless, but again, it doesn't open, so I wouldn't call it a panoramic moonroof, just a glass roof. Also, I didn't mention we get thigh support. Pretty typical with a mid to high level BMW. I just didn't mention it earlier. Ton of glass. Pretty cloudy day today in Tampa, Florida. There's a hurricane going through the Gulf of Mexico right now. Thankfully missing Tampa, but there is going to be some outer bands and pretty tough to see how much light would be brought into the cabin, but it's a massive piece of glass. We can check out the window sticker, see any features that I may have missed on this 2025 BMW X3 M50i xDrive. With a $64,100 base price, $650 for the black sapphire metallic. The black perforated Veganza is the included seat option, $1,700 for the driving assistance pro package, $2,700 for the premium package, giving us the active driving assistance pro, Harman Kardon surround system, interior camera. As you guys can see, I did not mention that. We also get the BMW curved display with heads-up display. We will get the curved display regardless, but the heads-up display is included with the premium package. $500 for the ventilated seats up front, and that's it for the add-ons. When it comes to options, you can pause, take a look at the rest of the standard features. $1,175 for the destination charge, totaling us out at $70,825. 27 combined MPGs. That is up compared to the previous generation. My parents' X3 M40i averages like 22 MPGs, but 27 is insane for an SUV that can perform as well as this one. Also, check this out. I know historically the last few years we have been terrified of these add-on stickers, but as you guys see, MSRP and total price are the exact same, and you still get the BMW of Tampa Advantage. That's quite the incentive. I'm sure you're not going to be getting 10% discounts on these cars considering the Advantage plan, but at least they're not charging $3,000 to $5,000 for that Advantage plan like a lot of dealerships used to. That's about it though, guys, for the front seat at least of the 2025 BMW X3 M40i. Let's hop out back, see how much space is offered back here. I keep forgetting that with the new BMW cars, you gotta close the front door and open the back door simultaneously or else it'll lock you out. Not quite sure why, but it is what it is. We get soft touch up top, leather stitching for the armrest, auto one touch window. We get the plastic magnesium style door handle, Harman Kardon speaker, solid amount of storage. You'll easily fit a big gulp. You'll squeeze a 6-inch sub, hard plastic for the grab handle. I kind of wish they gave us some type of padded material for that. The rear seats, the padding does not go out to the door frame, but we get a little bit of bolstering for the rear seat. Decently soft and pretty decent amount of legroom. Taking a step back here, I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall, sitting behind my seat settings, and I still have about 4 inches of knee room. Headroom, I have about an inch before I hit the frame, about 2.5 inches before I hit the moonroof. So I can fit back here comfortably. The shoulder room doesn't seem any different compared to the previous generation. If anything, with the style of this door panel, it feels a little bit more cramped for my left shoulder, but for my right shoulder, perfectly fine. Great knee room. No complaints overall. It's not much larger than the previous generation. It is longer, it is wider, but overall dimensions are still pretty similar. We do get rear air vents, a little bit of storage beneath, and 2 USB-C ports, cargo nets behind each front seat, and brackets for iPads for the kids back here. The center cubby armrest is also Veganza. You can fit 24-ounce bottles, pass-through, good for a phone or a wallet. Pretty solid amount of light brought into the cabin through this massive glass roof. If it was a sunny day, you would get some light into the cabin, but you can still pick up this beautiful, cloudy Florida sky. That's about it though, guys, for the back seat of the 2025 BMW X3 M50i. Let's hop out into the cargo space, see how much space is offered back here, and then take this 2025 BMW X3 M50i out for a drive. So the cargo space is solid. It was a pretty large cargo space for the pre-facelift, but definitely still the case here. The step-in's a little bit high. My knee is about 4 or 5 inches below the step-in, so if you have older or smaller pets, it may not be super easy for them to hop back here, but won't be the end of the world. We get a little bit of secret storage back here too. Spare tire, it's not a full-size spare, but it will get you out of some sticky situations if need be. You get a cargo net in the corner, perfect for grocery bags so they're not just flying around. And we get a latch to fold the second row seats down, and a cargo cover so people walking behind your X3 M50i don't see what you have going on back there. So drop the lift gate, there are 2 buttons. This button drops it, this button drops it and locks the SUV. We don't need a lock, so we'll press the button on the left and it immediately starts to close, so keep that in mind or you will get duped in the head. Hopefully you can pick up how the lights look when they're turned on. And that's about it for the inside and outside of this all-new 2025 4th generation BMW X3 M50i. And for the previous generation X3 M40i, I personally thought that that was the best vehicle per dollar out on the road. That and the 340i, it all depends on whether or not you want the SUV or if you wanted the sports sedan. But SUV-wise, I thought the X3 M40i was the best vehicle out on the road today for the money. And this all-new 4th generation X3 M50i simply builds on top of the greatness of the previous generation M40i. And speaking of that, let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. All right, guys, now just about seen everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the all-new 2025 BMW X3 M50i. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. My first impressions, the steering feels very different, at least in the comfort mode. You don't really have any weight whatsoever. It reminds me a lot of the steering feel from the X5, which is one of the biggest reasons why I always thought that the X3 M40i was better than getting an X5, unless you were like 6'5" or above, just simply for the space. But for somebody under 6'5", I always thought that the M40i was a better option because it had better steering feel, better handling dynamics, and just overall better response to the driver. This, from the steering perspective, does not feel as good as the previous generation M40i. Brakes feel just as good. Throttle response in normal mode feels just about as good, and you lean into it, oh wow. Oh, yeah, this thing can get up and go. I think it does sound better. That's just normal mode, and I do hear a little bit better grunt. Let's try it out in sport mode. Got to use the touch sensors for it. It immediately gets the exhaust a little bit more rumble. We lose one of our overdrive gears. Take a step out here. Open up. There's a police officer right over there, so we're not going to open up too crazy, but whew, yeah. lot of power. Now we put the transmission into sport too. We'll see what changes up. Yeah, it gets a little bit more snappy. Definitely get more induction noise in sport mode. Oh, steering feels a little bit better, but it's still a lot lighter than the M40i was. On the gas, whoo! Yep, it is definitely just as fast as the M40i. It does weigh a little bit more, so I don't think it's faster, although it has more power, but whoo, it still feels really fast. Fifth gear, it pulls. It pulls really good. I don't know if we're gonna be able to pass this. I don't know what that is, but we'll try. Third gear. Yeah, no need to beat it up any further. There's more than enough passing power in this monster. We can take it out of sport, throw it into efficient, no need to beat it up any further. Take it out of the manual shifts, take it out of sport transmission mode, and it is quiet. I mean, it was pretty quiet for the previous generation, but this feels quieter. It feels like more of a luxurious vehicle than the previous generation. It'll be interesting to compare this directly to an X5 M40i. I haven't driven one of those in several months, but this feels more like an X5 M40i, or just an X5 40i, than it did to the X3 M40i in the previous generation. Maybe that's what you guys want. It's still just as fast, don't get me wrong. It's just as fast as the previous generation M40i. Still handles fantastic. It's just the intuitiveness through the steering doesn't quite feel as good as it did in the previous generation. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think if you've driven one of these new M50i's. Outside of the steering feel, I don't have any complaints with the way that this vehicle's dynamics are. I think the ride quality is just as good. I think the performance from a acceleration standpoint is just as good. I just think that steering feel, I just wish they gave us a little bit more. It was so good in the previous generation. The handling is still fantastic. You can feel the differences between each mode based off how the hybrid system delivers its power. The hybrid system, it definitely favors the electric motors in the less aggressive modes. This is efficient mode, about half throttle. I mean, it's still very, very fast. Not quite sure where that guy was going, but good thing he saw me. Yeah, in efficient mode, I'm not the biggest fan of the throttle response. For that reason, I would do my daily driving either in sport mode or expressive mode. Let's see what expressive does. Oh, okay, it opens up the moonroof. I'm not quite sure why that's a drive mode, but it is. And I do feel a little bit more sensitivity through the throttle pedal, which is also pretty good. And just cruising along. Yeah, guys, it's really quiet in here. Everything feels so smooth and luxurious. That they improved compared to the previous generation. If you drove a previous generation X3 M40i and you just thought it drove a little bit too harsh, the steering felt more like sports car than luxury SUV, and you weren't a fan of that, and you prefer a little bit smoother steering feel, a little bit softer suspension, I think this new updated M50i is perfect for you. If you're still just looking for the best all-out performance bargain at around the $65,000 to $70,000 price point, you want to do 0 to 60 in 4 seconds, if not quicker, you want to have the best quality materials, most updated tech, and great looks. Compared to its direct competitors, the Audi SQ5, the Mercedes GLC 43 AMG, I think that this is, without question, the best car out of the three. I think it drives no worse than the Mercedes. Options and features, no worse than the Mercedes. And as far as driving dynamics, I think it's, without question, better. Now, if you're looking for the cheaper alternative, the Audi's alternative is about $7,000 to $10,000 cheaper if you go for a moderately spec'd version. So if you're looking to save some money, yes, check out the Audi. But if you're looking for $65,000 to $70,000 and you're looking for the best luxury performance SUV at that price point, the 2025 BMW X3 M50i is still the best one, in my opinion, on the road today. And a big thanks to Aramis and the rest of the management and staff here at BMW of Tampa for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to their inventory below, and if you're looking for a new premium or performance car or SUV in the Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out and ask for Aramis. And a huge thanks to all you guys for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too. It really helps me out, the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment. Let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you want to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try getting those videos for you ASAP. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.